It was late. Far too late for anyone to be wandering the halls of the hospital. I was a new night shift nurse, and while the hours were tough, I had grown used to the eerie quiet that blanketed the building in the early hours of the morning. The hospital's east wing had been closed for months due to renovations, but I had to pass by it each night to deliver patient charts. That night, something felt off. As I approached the east wing, I noticed the air growing colder. The usual hum of machinery and faint echoes of activity from other parts of the building seemed to vanish. The silence was so profound, I could hear my own heartbeat. The double doors to the east wing were slightly ajar. I hesitated. The janitors and contractors were long gone and no one had any business being there. Yet something compelled me to look inside. Maybe it was just curiosity or some misplaced sense of duty. Slowly, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. The hall was dimly lit, the flickering fluorescent lights casting long, unsettling shadows. The faint smell of disinfectant lingered in the air, but it was mixed with something else. Something metallic, like rust or blood. As I moved further down the corridor, the sound of footsteps echoed faintly behind me. I spun around, but no one was there. "Hello?" I called out, my voice trembling slightly. There was no answer, only the unsettling silence that seemed to press in on me. I turned back and continued walking, my eyes scanning the doors of the patient rooms. Most were locked, as they should be, but one at the very end of the hallway was wide open. The light inside flickered erratically, and I could see faint movement within. My throat tightened as I considered turning back, but my feet carried me forward. As I reached the door, I peeked inside. The room was empty, at least at first glance. The bed was stripped bare, and an old wheelchair sat in the corner. But as I stepped inside, the temperature dropped sharply. My breath puffed out in visible clouds, and an overwhelming sense of dread washed over me. I turned to leave, but that's when I saw it. A figure standing in the reflection of the dark window across the room. It was tall, its head tilted unnaturally to one side. I froze, unable to move or even breathe. Slowly, the figure raised a hand and pointed directly at me. The light above me buzzed and flickered wildly before plunging the room into darkness. I stumbled backward, fumbling for the door, and sprinted back down the hallway. As I ran, the footsteps behind me returned, louder and faster this time, as though something was chasing me. I didn't dare look back. I burst through the double doors, slamming them shut behind me, and leaned against the wall, gasping for air. The footsteps stopped, but the cold lingered, as if whatever was in there was still watching me, just beyond the doors. I never went near the east wing again. Whatever I encountered that night wasn't meant to be seen, and I have no intention of finding out what it wanted.